Pam Elliott has stepped outside to join him for a little refresher course on staying safe on those bikes this morning. Pam?
Hey Dan, thank you. Yes, a refreshing morning here in the Miami Valley and time for a refresher course with Alan Nicely from K&G Bike Shop out of Xenia. Yes, so appreciate you being with us, Alan. Did you bike here?
No, ma'am. I drove too early.
It's Pam, not ma'am. All right, I told you that on the phone. What a nice guy. Hey, listen, he is an expert. He knows what he's talking about. And for many of us, we're pulling out the bikes maybe for the first time of the season, and we're going, oh my, adjustments might need to be made. What do we need to be looking at?
You need to be looking to make sure your tires aren't dry rotted from sitting over the winter. You want to look for cracks. You want to know what the air pressure is supposed to be in your tires so that you're getting the right performance out of the bike. You want to check your brakes, especially if your bike's been in storage for the winter or a few years and you decide you want to lose some weight this year. Make sure your brakes aren't dry rotted, hard and cracking. You want to make sure you have a good
Where do we look there? Because I'm a novice, let's face it.
You want to actually look at the brake pad and see if they're hard or pliable. You want them to be pliable. That way when you do hit your brakes that they are touching and hitting the brake surface right, getting a good traction on the brake surface to slow you down.
You know, we often hear with our cars, obviously, you got to get tune-ups and oil changes. Lawnmowers need the same attention. Bikes, what do you need to do every year?
Depending on how many miles you ride, you know, if you ride 1,000 miles or more, we usually recommend getting a tune-up once a year. If you're just a putter around, every couple of years isn't a bad idea to get a tune-up. You know, it's just like a car.
Just like a car, and treat it like that. On the road, you say a lot of people make mistakes. They don't take their bikes out like they might their cars.
Right, and you also see people riding the wrong direction. You just want to take your bike to a good place that you trust to do the work and make sure it's done right.
I find it difficult with height. My daughter is growing and the seat adjusting and all of this, and we hear from the Ohio Department of Transportation, unfortunately, lots of accidents involving children on bikes. What about the height factor? What do you need to do to adjust your bike?
Well, you need to make sure that the child can stand over the frame safely. You want about an inch or two of clearance between themselves and the bike. That's usually a good fit. You got to take it someplace that knows what they're doing to get all that information.
I stand on my tippy toes a lot of times. That makes me a little nervous, but you're saying we need that kind of clearance. Quickly, a tune-up and these kind of checks that you're talking about at a place like where you work, what does that cost a person?
Right now, tune-ups are $69.99. We go completely over the bike, make sure everything's working the way it's supposed to. Your brakes are in good condition, your tires are in good condition. You just have a good overall bike.
All right. Alan Nicely, thank you so much. Isn't that the perfect name for him, Nicely? Nice guy. Hey, we hope that was helpful to you. And again, police say if you need some help with the rules of the road, stop by your local police department and pick up some kind of information so you know what to do to keep it safe this summer. Dan?